Yeah, to give you a little background to the product, it's, for those of you who know Spinlock brand, we've always taken a fairly innovative approach to life jacket development and design. And over the years, our products range has grown, and we've really focused on making safety products not only very usable, wearable, but also very effective. And over the last few years, we've really taken a look at the insides of a life jacket and what actually can help to improve your chances in the water. You know, as you know, if you ever go overboard on a boat, it's never going to be a good place, no matter what the conditions are. So we work a lot on our product design and actually trying to keep people on board the boat. But if, you know, in an unfortunate situation you did end up in the water, then it's all about speed of location and being collected, found, and removed out of the water back onto safety. Because even in the best conditions, I think everybody knows, you've got a very short survival time. So several years ago, we developed our life jacket light, what we've called our pylon. It was the first one at the time which sort of lifted the light up above your head and sort of helped sort of 360 location of the light. And every life jacket should require a SOLAS-approved life jacket light, which meets a certain range of standards and is a very effective locator source. But over the years, since we've launched that, you know, what we've found in our testing development is that most life jacket lights give a very intense, single-point, bright spot for finding somebody, which is very effective over a long distance, but does have a little bit of a drawback in that it's, you know, it is very small and it's, you know, it's a very, you know, small point to find. And as you know, this is a miniature sort of inside of a life jacket, and obviously we do quite a lot on the products to use bright fabrics, reflective tape to help location, which during daytime is great. But at night time, that bright fluorescent color is redundant. And so what we found with our testing and sort of development is if we can use this whole life jacket to diffuse a light source, you end up with, you can see in the picture here, a big illuminated object, which suddenly gives a much bigger area of light to locate a casualty. And you know, we've always recommended to use this in tandem with an approved life jacket light because they have sort of different sort of purposes, if you like. And from a long range, a life jacket light definitely works very well. This comes into effect probably around about sort of 300 meters and coming a bit closer. And what it does do is gives you a really good location for the person. And what we did find is that with the two lights, it's often, it helps you to be able to judge the distance much better in that you can actually have 2 points of references so you can see how far away from the casualty you are. So in effect, it's a very simple product, which has quite a big effect. The technology behind it is it's an LED, as most sort of lights are, which gives us, you know, the ability to have quite a bright, intense light, which has quite a long lifetime. We do say it's 2 hours at full intensity. You know, being an LED, they do die off slightly. It does last for much, much longer than that, but as a sort of a guideline, we say for 2 hours under full intensity. And we've developed the product to be water activated. So like most life jacket lights, you go in, there's contacts there which actually create the circuit and light the light. And our products are simply stuck onto the back of a life jacket. So when you imagine you go into the water, this inflates out of your life jacket cover, held in the water, and the lights contact with the contacts make contact, and the life jacket starts to illuminate. It's been quite interesting in some of the sort of practicalities of developing what is a fairly simple product. Things like the sensors. Obviously, life jackets do get wet and damp over time. So we've added a little bit of technology into the programming of it to sort of add a slight delay so that the contacts actually have to be in water for a little while before they will activate. So if your jacket gets damp over time, they won't just automatically come on within there. Also, you know, it's quite key that these things stay stuck on. So the development of the sticker that holds them in place, you know, there are certain things that are stuck onto the life jacket. We've used quite an intense glue to keep it on there that works in damp, wet conditions. And also bear in mind, this product spends most of its life bunched up, packed up within inside the life jacket cover. So there is, we've invested quite a lot of time in the film and the glue that we use to hold it in place. So it's been, you know, quite interesting for what is a fairly simple product to have overcome a few challenges in its design, and then hopefully we're making it available not just for Spinlock products, but also for fit onto any other life jacket which you can get underneath, and you've got the space to fit the lume-on onto. So these products are going to be available through service centres, retailers. We've packaged them as a sort of retail item. They come in a pair, simple to apply for a user to sort of just remove the sticker, place it on the product. We do request that you leave it for a little while to let the glue to sort of cure several hours. It just means that the attachment is much better. And then the product's good to go. They're not replaceable batteries. They're not rechargeable. They are a sort of one-use product. There's a battery as a sort of general rule. We'd probably say the lifetime, a shelf life is around about 5 years. And then, as I said, in water, the sort of usage is about 2 hours. But they are designed to be sort of removable, replaceable. So when you service your life jacket at the end of the season, you can always just hold your finger on it to check that it's actually still lighting. If they are dead, they can be peeled off and replaced on there. I think they retail around about 20 euros. So it's not a big additional price to put onto making what you can see is quite a big effect in finding you. One of the things we didn't actually sort of consider when we did it, but during testing was quite interesting, is that it's actually very reassuring as a man overboard to actually see that amount of light and illumination. We do testing in the dark. We do it in a real situation in the Solent off Cowes where we're based. And it's a fairly lonely place when you're in the water. And having a single sort of flashing point up here doesn't give you a lot to sort of focus on. When this actually starts illuminating the whole life jacket, it's actually quite a sort of reassuring feeling that you're actually doing what you can to actually make yourself visible. And we know from sort of survival stories that the sort of mental attitude that a casualty has about making an effort to being saved, thinking that they're doing something, has a big impact as well on their chances of survival. So the sort of psychological benefit of having a sort of big illuminating light around you is also quite key as well. I think that's about it. If there's any questions from anybody.
Anybody got any questions for Miles at all?
If you want to see the full range, please come over to the Spinlock stand in Hall 3. Up there. Can you tell us a bit about how long it took to develop the product? Yeah, I mean, as I said, we've sort of been developing our pylon light over the last few years, and obviously been doing sort of quite a lot of work with LEDs and battery life and intensities and things. And it obviously comes around, we have all our design is in-house, and within the design team, we're working with products, and we're looking at how to diffuse lights to make a bigger effect with a sort of point LED on those. We're looking at diffusers, and the idea sort of came about that you've actually got a great big light diffuser here. And so then we looked at the practicalities of trying to use that in conjunction with the light, and we found that a simple LED on there would work very effectively. And we've sort of trialed with different intensities of light, how long you get for the battery life, how long the battery works in different temperatures as well. And we feel we've found what we feel is a sort of happy benefit. We don't want to make this too complicated a product that people have to spend a lot of money to add on to their life jacket prices increase. It wants to be something which gives a nice benefit at a sort of affordable add-on for the product.
Are there any other questions from anybody at all? Yes, Mike.
Yeah. Have you got some sort of patent protection?
We've considered patenting it, but as you well know, the cost of patents are very high, especially on an international level. I'm also slightly skeptical of a lot of patents. There is usually some way around it, and you'd have to spend a lot of money to either first put a patent in place and then actually to defend it if somebody did do it. And so we kind of feel that as this is designed to be a fairly cost-effective product, that the money that we would have spent investing in patents and protecting it would be better spent integrating it into our life jackets, which is what we've done with our top-end life jackets. We've put them into the products for this season. There's no additional change in the cost of those products, and that's all partly due to keeping the sort of the design costs down to a level.
Get it into the market as quick as possible.
And we'll see who comes chasing us first.
Any other questions at all? Well, I'd like us to say a very big congratulations to Spinlock, who had a very good morning, actually. They also got shortlisted for another product, which was also a very clever reinvention. For those of you that would like to see this actually in operation, you're in Hall 3, stand 300. and also in the Dharma Awards display out, which many of you will have seen as you came in this morning. So you do see it in action, because then you'll really get how that works. So please, a very big round of applause for Spinlock and their efforts with this product.
Thank you. Thanks, Kim.
So next up, we have Per Landegren, who's the managing director of Humphrey. Now, we have an expression in English, from the sublime to the ridiculous. I don't think we'd want to say either of the products is ridiculous at all. They're both very, very good. But the product that Per is going to talk about is quite a complex product. It's a combined stabilizer and trim system. And it is right at the other end of the scale in terms of the kind of size of the product and what has actually gone into it. So I'm going to hand over to Per now, who will explain more about his product, which was a joint winner of the Dharma Awards today. Thank you, Per.
Well, let's see if I get some sound. Well, thank you very much. And I see the Spinlock people just left. But anyway, congratulations, Spinlock, to also sharing the award. I will see if I can get the presentation up. Do I need to push? No, here we go. So, I will speak about the new electric stabilizing fin and interceptor system combination that we release now. Humphrey, as a company, has been working with interceptor systems since 2002. So we are, so to say, pioneers on that product. Interceptors is a type of trim tab that can trim the boat, and we can also stabilize the boat using the interceptor system we do. But now we are combining that with the new electric fin stabilizers, and I will come to those then. For all speeds, that is also our target has been to do this at 0 speed when the boat is at the anchor, and at speed, and in the most efficient way. That has been the target. Looking at the new fin stabilizer, it's quite different to what has been used in the industry for a number of years. Typically, the fin stabilizers are hydraulically moved. So there is a hydraulic power pack, there are hydraulic fins, with the limitations that come with the hydraulic system. Our unit is not only electric, it is 24 volt, which is unique in the market. That has a number of benefits itself. When you are underway with the vessel, you don't need to have an additional generator set running. You can actually power the fin stabilizers from the diesel engines, from the small generators mounted on the engine. When you are at 0 speed, you of course need to power these, and you have either a genset running or you need to have a good shore power. That is one thing. We can also, because we don't have any mechanical stops, we can rotate this one 360 degrees. That is unique. Why is that good? Well, because typically fin stabilizers at 0 speed, when the boat is at anchor, when you are moving the fins, sometimes the boat can move forward because of the paddling. When you can rotate 360 degrees, you can rotate one fin at a certain time or to the sides, and by that keeping the boat at a certain position during stabilization. That is a major point. It's, as you can see on the picture, it's very compact. And because we have a 24 volt, we don't need a big box with the AC power system. We don't need a hydraulic power pack. What you see on the picture is it. The only thing we add to that is a cable to the batteries, to the 24 volt batteries. Another thing that is unique is that typically a fin stabilizer uses a quite large 90 to 120 millimeter thick stainless steel shaft going all the way inside the fin down to the bottom. In the very unhappy event that the boat hits something, rock or whatever, you don't break that stainless steel shaft very easy. So you will have a major impact and could cause damage to the hull structure, and in worst case, you can have a big water leak. We have a unique design where we don't have this stainless steel shaft. Instead, we fit it, you see the bolts there, so we bolt it up without this shaft. So in the same unhappy event, you hit something, this one is designed to break. So without this stainless shaft, the fin will be destroyed and fall off. It's very easy to install because of the size. It's quite handy, really. In 2 persons, you can lift that and you can put it in place. That makes it also simple and easy. And because of this, again, the bolts, you can actually replace a fin underwater. With a diver can go down and replace it. You cannot do that so easy with when you have the stainless and so on, the shaft. The interceptors we have done since 2002, with of course development into automatic solutions. Today we run, even with the interceptors alone, automatic trim, automatic list control, turn behavior, as well as stabilization. Of course, you cannot stabilize with the interceptor as good as you can with the fin. So that's why we have combined all this into one package. That has been our target. And then it looks like this. You have 2 fins connected electrically. You have interceptors on the transom of the boat. And together, of course, you need a control unit and so on that we have. Together, it will control the trim attitude of the boat. And the important with that is that we can lower the fuel consumption, increase the speed. We can control heel angle. We control turns. And we can have like an aircraft. We call this coordinated turn. It basically means that, you know, when you're in an aircraft, the coffee can stay on the table, even in turns. In an aircraft, they have something called ailerons that are fitted on the wings. So when they do the rudder movement, they at the same time use their ailerons to turn, to heel the plane in a certain amount. And by that, have a very comfortable turn. What we do is identically the same. We move one interceptor member, depending on the position of the rudder. And we will also use the fin now that we do the same. So during the turn, we will change the position of the fins and the interceptors to keep a perfect balance during the turn. When you exit the turn, we are on a new track. We automatically compensate roll. But with the interceptors, we can also do pitch motions. The traditional fin stabilizer suppliers can only do roll motions. We can do pitch motions, roll motions, and control also fuel burn and so on with this system. So, to conclude what we can do basically, at anchor, we have roll stabilization and we have anti-anchor walk because we can rotate them 360 degrees. At speed, we can do trim control, pitch stabilization, roll control and stabilization, and yaw control as well. Because typically, a boat can also have some yaw moments when you use fins and so on. We use the system together, and we can also keep the boat without yawing. With a yaw movement is when you start to turn. That is a yaw. So this is the basics of the new system. I think here you can just see how compact it is. This shows the interior of the hull. It's only this little unit that comes up there. An example of a 76 feet yacht. It has a weight of 54 tons. We are driving here, simulating 80 knots. And you can see the combination using fins and interceptors means basically that we stabilize, we reduce the roll by 76% in in this calculation. So instead of rolling up to 10 degrees, we are down to, you see there, 3, 4, something. And I think that is my last slide.